Hello ladies and gents, welcome back. As always, I'm Dan at Tring Repair and Key Shop. Today's video isn't something that I particularly came up with on my own. It was a lot of you guys have been asking to see some of the smaller, cheaper, day-to-day jobs that I get coming through the shop. So as I'm recording this now, the video's not done yet. I'm gonna throw together a bunch of things that I'm getting through over the week. So if you see me in a different shirt or something, that's why. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright gang, so to kick this video off, we've got these chaps, and it's not actually a small job, but it's a basic job, so it belongs in this video. Timberland boots with a foam sole, so we are replacing it with these pretty cool Vibram Moreflex units. And there's not much to this, to be honest. We just have to remove the old sole via sanding. All we need to make sure is we're using the right glue and we've got the units put on. It's just a glued construction. So let's head over to the machine and whip it all off. Of course, when we're doing that kind of maneuver and we're doing all that grinding and elbow grease, it's like a religious experience, and you're just like, oh my god, I never want to see another shoe again in my life. But then, of course, what have we got? The other shoe. Alright, so now the shoe's down to its bare bones. Before we get glue on, I'm just going to pop some primer on it. Alright, so just be careful not to get this on the edges. And without getting too scientific, primer is basically for difficult substances, surfaces. The primer sticks to the shoe, and then the glue sticks to the primer. Okay, so just while I let the primer dry, I'm going to show you another job I've got on the go. These ladies' nubuck ankle boots in for a half leather sole. So half meaning it just goes down to the waist there. See, I've got some glue on there, it's already on the go. Half soles are for the customer that doesn't want to spend the earth fixing their boots, but would still like to fix them. So instead of stripping it down to its real guts and doing a full big repair, we just do a half sole, everybody wins. So we just get her on just where we've made our graft line. Yep. Ooh, baby, I love your way. Ooh, baby, I love your way. Give it a press. Can you see? Oh no, you can't see. Let me bring you guys. There. Oh no, I got my finger! You guys want to see like the fixer-upper little cheap jobs. So I've got this. This poor little fellow. Looks alright. Uh-oh, it's missing its entire sole. Right, it's a platform. The sole's just come off. It's been repaired before actually, and so the lady just wants it gluing back on. That's exactly what we're going to do. So obviously real simple, this one. We're just taking our glue, our contact adhesive, and putting it all over where it was glued originally. Now it's a nice, really nice royal blue satin, so we're just going to be careful not to get the glue on the satin. But other than that, easy job. Now before any of you chime in, chirp up saying, why didn't you do this, why didn't you do that? The customer wants this repaired as cheaply as possible, isn't prepared to spend any more money on it. So they say, can you just glue this back together for I think £10 I'm going to charge her? And I say yes. And of course once that's glued, we've got to glue its sole or its platform. Now some of the satin there is just coming up, it's going to get glue under that, glue it back down onto the platform before we then reattach it to the shoe. So now it's nice and hot, we can just stick our little fellow back in place. I'll just like to start here because I can line up the stiletto section nice and evenly. Job's a good one. Now back to the job at hand. Primer's dry, we're going to get the glue on. So the glue we're using, what you guys often ask, is Renier Col de Cologne. The appropriate stuff for this job. So we're just going to get loads of glue on here because it's just cemented, like I said, no stitches. So we can't be tight with the glue. And then of course we need to get glue on our unit. We can't have him feeling left out. He needs to be invited to the glue party. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Good as new. Right, moving on next. And just one more small little job we got on the go. We've got these Rockport boots and we're putting a new sole on them. But if you see, they're so faded. So we're just going to put some more black pigment on them to smarten them up a bit. Still rolling? Yes, okay. Okay, so to get our new pigment in, what we're using is just a black renovating polish. Now, we stripped off all the old wax and polish with acetone, so it's ready, so the leather's ready to soak in new pigment. You can use a black dye to get a real pristine finish, but the customer doesn't want them that incredibly black, so we're just going to use a nice renovating polish. So we get the product on our brush, work it into all of the uppers, getting in all the cracks and all the faded areas. Now, the way renovating polish works is you put it onto the leather and then you leave it to soak in and develop for about 15 minutes, and then it does dye the leather itself, in fact. So get it on there, let it cure, and then we come back with a clean brush to wipe off all the residue, and it should polish up to a nice finish. So these are the soles we're actually putting on this pair of Rockports, but we haven't done a video for that one, I'm afraid. I'll show you what they're like when they're done. Alright, so that's been 15 minutes to develop. So now we can take off the excess, shine it up. So here we are, polished boots, drum roll please. Da, 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 da. Before, after. Look at that. Spanking polish. They really needed it. Got some new laces in there for him, and of course our wicked new Vibram unit on there. Vibram, Vibram, whichever way you like to say it, as some of you have quite kindly pointed out to me. It's quite funny, I've never met anybody that says it any other way than Vibram, but when you look it up, that is actually how you're supposed to pronounce it, Vibram. Right, now I have to show you these beautiful cowboy boots. However, the brand on the bottom, if we look, can you see? Arseholes. Arseholes. Interesting name. So all we're doing on these, another quick job, is putting rubber sole guards on the bottom. So they're rubber, and we're just putting a half sole guard on the front there, and it's going to make it last a lot longer and give it extra grip. next job, big job. We've got these motocross boots, dirt bike boots, whatever you want to call them, and the sole is worn off, and the toe plates, the metal toe plates are worn off as well, so we're replacing both of those. Conveniently, we've got the original soles from the manufacturer, so we're going to pop them on, and the toe plates, we've got them as well from the manufacturer. Now, doing these, it usually goes outside of cobbling, more into mechanics, because the soles on these, the compound they're made of is so rock hard, tough. That sanding it off takes ages and a lot of sanding bands. So what we normally do is take it back home and use some power tools, a circular saw, bandsaw, to get the worst of it off, and then finish it on the sander. However, I tried this last night, and even this rubber is too tough for power tools. So we've just got to go to the belt sander here and just really give it some time and some elbow grease. Not the most fun job, but we're going to do it anyway, so let's get to it. Okay, wow, so it is finally off. There it is, down to its bare bones. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys, that absolutely sucked. This is by far my least favorite shoe repair job. The shop's full of rubber fumes. I've had to have both doors open. You won't have seen in the video, but that was literally a solid hour on the sanding band. So my back hurts, my arms hurt, but we are first and foremost here for business, not for fun. So do it anyway, but look, let's carry on with the job. So this boot here is worn down particularly far on the instep, so we need to build that up with some micro, and then we can work at putting the new unit on. So now we're at the point where we need to get some cement on to get our sole stuck on. Now what we need to do with these though is just get some rubbing alcohol. We're just going to run over the surface just to get rid of any grease or unsightly substances we don't want, so we get a real strong bond with our adhesive. It smells like vodka. Next little job, super quick, super easy, we're doing some stretching. So we've got this bit of apparatus here, one boot's on it already. We've got these Altberg combat boots that just need a stretch. So what we do, get the appropriate last on our machine, pop our boot on, and this is gonna force it open. All right, now before we do that, we use a stretching fluid. So what this does is relax the fibers in the leather and lets them ease out and stretch. People ask me why we have a spray and then a big gallon tub. The gallon tub is cheaper, you know, goes further. The spray is quicker and easier. So this is what I sell to customers, and I just have one lying around just for convenience, to be honest. If I've just got a quick little job. So just spray it all over the problem areas. Okay, and then use our cranks to tighten it up and spread the item out. So we've got the one on the back, does the length, and the one on the top does the width. So we get it nice and tight. Okay, and if we've got a really tough job, what we do is we'll let that stretch overnight probably, and then come back the next day, add some more fluid and give it a little bit more of a turn, okay, because it will have relaxed and we're able to turn it a bit more. That's stretching. So in the interest of just throwing all sorts of random stuff in this video, maintenance. We've got this wire brush. Let me show you what we're going to put it on. So this here is one of my key cutting machines, and this here, the wire brush that we use to smooth off keys once they're cut. And if you can see, it's completely worn away. Let me just take it off for you. Okay, so you can see, worn down to the bare bones, so that's no good for making keys nice and smooth, so let's just pop our new one on. Obviously I've disconnected this from the power supply, or have I? No one knows except me. Alright, just do it up nice and tight. There he is. Right, plug it back in. Okay. Lovely jubbly. So now we can start gluing. Now our sole is pure rubber, so we're using plain old rubber glue, neoprene. All right, and that should stick like wet on water. I'm gonna give it a few coats though, and let it dry for quite a while. Half an hour per coat, maybe 3 coats. And of course we need to pop it on the sole as well. So same as always, when we finish the last coat, we're going to heat it up and press it together. Now I've encountered a problem, and that's that these boots are too big and too solid to fit on the press. But we need to press it, so I'm pressing it. Yeah. Okay, right, cool. So our sole is on the boot, rock solid. But to shape it up to the original line of the boot, to my utter dismay, we've got to head back to the machine and again do some more grinding. But this time I'm going to have 2 things to help me. I'm going to enlist, once again, Ron the Duck for some moral support. And I'm also going to put a fresh sanding band on the belt sander just to give us a bit more oomph. Arrow always forwards, people. Always. That's going to make you do shoe repairs in reverse. So we're done with the sanding and we've got a nice neat finish all around the edge. Now what we've got to do is put our toe caps on. So we've got these cool metal plates from the manufacturer as well. So we're just going to screw them on. So let's change the angle for that. Apparently there's a rainbow outside, so I've got to go and take a picture.
Well, you can't see it very well, gang. Bit of a rubbish rainbow.
Okay, cool, so our motocross boots are done. Sole on, toe plates are on. I've got a sore back, sore hands. To be honest, I'm glad to see the back of this job. Ron, are you glad to see the back of this job? Whoa, 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 let's try and keep this PG, Ron. I can't believe you just said that. Ducks. So what we're doing here is just stitching in a new metal zip in these Michael Kors boots. One extremely last minute addition to the video. Army hearties, hey, how cool are these? These purple slip-on slippers, skull and cross swords, hey? Not big enough for a whole video, we're just putting new heels on and giving them a bit of a clean, bit of a shampoo. I'll just show you that quick. Okay, so just a little clean up, bit of shampoo, and we've re-heeled them with some part leather, part rubber heels. Okay guys, that is the video. I haven't actually watched it yet because I haven't finished editing it yet, but I know I've got enough footage to put together to finish the video. Now, if you made it all the way to the end, let me know if you enjoyed this style of video where I just throw some random bits and bobs together. Also give us a thumbs up, it helps other people see this content. But for now, I am out of here. I'm going to watch the Super Bowl that I recorded last night. And I'll finish on saying, if you have a mail order job you're interested in us doing, get in touch with us on the Tring Repared Facebook page. That's the only place I can get back to everybody reliably, and we can talk about your job. If you're one of my regulars, see you next week. If you're new, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you next time.